we got to pour into our younger generation because they're struggling, and if we don't help them, if we don't show them how to battle on their knees, this world definitely ain't gonna show them that. So, yeah, I mean,
great
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Well, hello. My name is Liberty,
I'm Lorena.
and we are just starting this conversation. What you just walked into is real life conversations that we have, that we're doing, that we're talking about. We're really excited to start this. It's been brewing for a long time, and coincidentally or not coincidentally, we're in a coffee shop that is brewing coffee.
Sharing that and said we need to learn to yield to God. I'm like, wow. I am learning from a 14-year-old, and it just it was awesome.
Away.
Yes, but that's not the only thing. She decided that she was going to share at FBA in her Bible class. And what happened after she shared was unbelievable. Prayer circles broke out. Students praying for students, tears running. Anyways, it was so beautiful that I would love for these teenagers to share their stories and to, like, what was the build-up all the way into where she said, I'm going to share my story because it's been covered up too long, and ask her, hey, what led you to share? Like, because we want to know, like, maybe there's what built up her to share is something that our own kids, my own daughters, or your own grandkids are going through, and then we're just like, okay, we got to scoop, and now and have them share, and so just letting them share the build-up and letting them share the experience of what happened in that classroom that day, because only they know what happened in that classroom, and then to hear their stories, and for other people to hear their stories and say, like, hey, they're 14 years old, I'm 30, 40 years old, 50 years old, and I still can't share my story. But you can. And so, like, what I told these girls, my girls, and these girls that I share life with, these younger girls, is that you have a Jesus story. Your story and my story, I tell my daughters, you have your own story. And it is not mine. So it is yours to tell. And so I was thinking, like, we could bring them on for, and then, like, you'll be able to ask them questions like, hey, why did you wait so long? What was holding you back from sharing? Why did you have fear? Like, what transpired you to say, okay, today I'm gonna share, and I'm no longer gonna be held back by what anyone thinks or any fears or anything like that. And this girl shared, and it has become a trickling effect. Is that what you say it? Like trickle effect. Now she shared, and then you had a classroom.
It opened the door for the others.
Yes, and administration came into the classroom to listen to her. So I think that would be something so beautiful to that people hear, like, hey, our young kids also struggle, and what we think
Is nothing. Get over it.
Like,
And so, as I was thinking today about all of this, I thought, this is something that's just now starting to bloom. Because
Yeah.
we've talked about it for so long. And what's the name of this coffee shop?
Bloom and Pour.
Bloom and Pour. And so that can't be coincidence. So we're going to have these conversations. We're going to be inviting people in, young people, old people, every kind of person that we can think of. Women, majority, I think, is what we're going to be focusing on. And we're calling it behind the scenes. And just because we as women are behind the scenes all the time, doing everything. Women, we were once young girls. And so these young girls, we really want to get them in as well. And we're just really excited for what God has, because that's our main focus. That's how we get through everything. It's our faith in Christ. But we still have real life. We still have our struggles. We still have our fights. We still have our arguments. We still get in our moods, and that's not going to change. It calms down when we commit our day and our steps into the Lord, but it's life.
Yeah.
We all experience it, and we're going through. All of us, I'm sure, could share just what we've been going through in this last year with the struggles that we've had. But we know where our faith is, and we know how we get up every morning and say, okay, I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep on doing this. So I was just so excited as Lorena started talking. I said, let's record this right now, because she's sharing some powerful stuff. She works with young girls all the time, whether it was intentional or not.
Yeah.
Not that you planned it.
I did not. When we, like I said, when we started these summer hangouts, it was just like, I want to make sure that our girls are confident in themselves when they work out, because I'm teaching them what I love, which is two things: is lifting, and I love the Lord. But for me, prayer has been like, have you prayed about it? Well, let's take it to our Father first. Let's face the Father before we face the struggle or the problem. And so teaching them how to do the two things that I love, which is prayer and live. These girls have, I've been pouring into these girls along with their mothers. We've been pouring into these girls. And so I was just so excited that out of all the young girls, this one girl stood up and said, I want to share. And I want to share because I'm going to do it out of the obedience of the Lord. And I think she said she's been wanting to do this for quite some time, and she just had the courage to do it. But it'd be just wonderful to hear it from her, and hear it from the perspective of the young girls that were in that classroom that day and what they experienced. Because we've been like all weekend hearing the stories, and we're like, wow. Like, we're just
Blown away.
Blown away. Because they're so young. They're between 14 and 15. Well, Caitlin will be 15 tomorrow. So, they're 14 and 15. But I always tell them, I wish that I've had the friendships you had growing up, because they're godly friendships. And these girls are not scared to pray. I'll tell you that. Yeah. So
that is awesome. And as we start getting into this, we know that there's going to be some obstacles along the way, but I think that's going to be part of what's going to help us communicate.
Yeah, for
the obstacles that we're gonna encounter, and just to hear, you say this about these girls. How many other stories are we hearing? Don't have happy endings.
Yeah.
All we hear is the bad.
Yeah.
And the ugly, and it exists. It exists in this world. But I think it's time, and it's important that we start sharing.
Yeah.
That there's young people, young girls that have put their faith in Christ with their struggles. They're not giving up, and people like you that are just pouring into the young girls. It's amazing. And of course, I'm twice or more your age, and so I just think it's time that we start taking the bull by the horn.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And continue to just walk it out. And I love what you're talking about, lift. And we're going to get into that, soon. We have quite a bit of, a lot of ideas, and we've got some great things in store.
Yes.
What we're planning to share with you guys. And so we're just going to put this out. Comment if you want to, and give us some ideas of what you want to hear. And I know that we've got a lot of good things coming. Lifting is one. I've never seen anybody like Lorena as dedicated to lifting. We think about lifting and we think about the men, but we don't realize, I think, that how many women are doing this. Yeah. I didn't know till I started watching you and a couple of others. I'm like,
it's possible. It is so possible to do it.
Wow. And it helps you relieve your stress.
Yeah. For a minute there, my daughters would tell me, how can you work out to worship music? I'm like, look, I'm lifting and I'm praising, and that's all that matters.
That is so awesome. Well, I'm going to let you do the lifting. I'll do the praising.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
Because I don't know that I'll be able to do it, but I think that we can lift each other up.
Of course.
And I think when you're lifting those weights, that says so much in the spiritual realm, because that's what we do every day. We have to lift up our struggles and our problems to the Lord. We have to lift them up and bring them up to Him and say, okay, how do I get through this? And as you're lifting that weight, that you think, how can I get from this amount, this pounds to this pounds? And I don't know what you started at and where you are now.
Yeah.
Probably put me to shame. But,
No, there's no shame, because there's no shame. You start where you start, and you get where you get. Because it's always a work in process.
and that's what our life is.
Yeah.
Work in process. We're struggling, but we have great testimonies
Yeah.
of the successes, and I think sometimes we just focus on the struggle because it's real. So we're just excited to be here, and this coffee shop is amazing. It has a place after my own heart. It's Coffee and Plants. So anybody who knows me knows my extreme on my plants, and so just looking around here, we're excited. I'm excited to have found this place here in Waxahachie, and eventually I'm going to ask them how did they come up with this. How did they come up with this concept? The concept is awesome. So
Buy your coffee and take your white flowers if you come through here.
yes, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
In our case, we're going to buy our coffee and
We're gonna
our
buy our
plants
coffee.
as well. So
Yeah.
what else can we say?
Well, just stay tuned because we're ready to give you Jesus. We're ready to give you experience and moments that define our everyday life, that pour out into our everyday life. So just watch out for us, and we'll see what we have a few things coming, and you never know.
You never know. Bye.